First, it was Johnny Hayes. Then Angus MacDonald committed his future to the club. Earlier today, interim manager Barry Robson agreed to a 2-year extension to his contract to become Aberdeen Football Club's 24th managerial appointment. As well as Barry's assistant manager Steve Agnew has also agreed to a 2-year deal with the club. These pictures come courtesy of Derek Ironside at Newsline Media, and I would like to personally thank him for allowing me the use of these photographs on tonight's show. How the devil are you? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg ABTV this Monday evening. What fantastic news coming out of the football club earlier today. Barry Robson is confirmed as our new full-time manager. So tonight, what is this all about? Quite simply, it's about you, the fans. Get in touch. Let me know what you think about today's appointment. There is no time restriction on tonight's show. We can go at it as long as the comments keep coming in. So there's absolutely no restriction. All you have to do, if you're watching for the very first time, is just leave your comment underneath the video and just interact and just let me know how you're thinking. Personally, I'm absolutely delighted. I'm thrilled for Barry. I think he richly deserves the opportunity. I think he's earned the opportunity to become our new boss. And what I think it does now is afford him the time to be able to continue his hard work. Now he's got that security behind him. Now he knows the job is his. He can now start rebuilding what will be a difficult rebuild in the summer, I think. And he can obviously aim for third spot and hopefully, depending on the cup final, a place in the Europa League group stage, which would just be astonishing considering where we were just a few months ago. So I do have some reaction for you tonight. I have a journalistic reaction from Rory Britton from Aberdeen Live, and I'll also be joined by former Aberdeen player Steve Tosh, who gives us his thoughts to today's big news. But of course, it is all about you. So get in touch. But we do have to start, I think, with Barry's reaction to today's news. And this is what he had to say when the news broke. I would like to thank the chairman and the wider board for putting their trust in me, and together with Steve and my staff, we will work tirelessly to match the ambitions of the club. Since being asked to take the team at the end of January, the response from the players has been immense, and likewise the supporters have been brilliant and got right behind the team. They have played their part in our recent wins. He went on to say, "We still have 5 tough matches remaining this season, but we're all more determined than ever to deliver European football again for the supporters and longer term meet the expectations of this great club." These are his stats since he became our interim manager. 10 games played, won 8, haven't drawn any, lost 2 in his first 3 games, which we can forgive him for. The goals for are 17. The goals against are 9. And let's not forget the huge swing, not just in points, but in the goal difference as well. Our goal difference currently sits at 0. The points turnaround, at one point, don't forget, we were 15 points behind Hearts. We're now 5 points ahead of them. It's been a huge turnaround. It's been a massive turnaround. It's been nothing but sensational. And what I think now is that it just brings stability. I would like to also, I have to tip my hat to Dave Cormack, who has had a very rough time recently with his own health issues. And we continue to send our best wishes to him and hope that he's well on the road to recovery. And he said that big decisions had to be made, that he had to take his time with everything, and that he had to get it right. And I absolutely tip my hat to him because I think he's done that. Alongside Alan Burrows, who also has come in, has had big decisions to make in what has been a very short period at the football club. And let's not forget that he's been in a situation like this before with Stevie Hamill at Motherwell, who came in as an interim, did well, then he appointed him as the full-time manager, and it didn't go according to plan. So I have no doubt that that might have niggled him at the back of his mind. So again, I absolutely tip my hat to Alan Burrows, Willie Garner, Stephen Gunn, all of them. I think I just think it's a very positive move for the football club all round. And I think it just bodes well for the future. So that's what I think. You guys get in touch. I am going to open it to the floor in just a moment. But first, let's get some reaction. So earlier this evening, I caught up with former Aberdeen player and Red TV co-commentator Steve Tosh to gain his reaction. Please forgive the issues with my sound on this video. Here's Steve Tosh. Hi Steve, how you doing? Thank you so much for jumping on. It's lovely to see you. Right, only a simple question to get us going. What's your initial reaction to today's news?
Yeah, happy. I think Barry's merited the chance to be obviously the manager on a regular basis rather than just interim. I think that the club's done everything right. I think they've given themselves time. They've given Barry time, to make sure that he was pretty capable is a better word than saying. The fact that it's easy to step into the breach every so often, but it's the fact that he's actually been there now for a period of time, and we've all seen the benefit, and we've all seen the fact that the football's got a lot better and the results are proven to be the case.
What I'm quite excited about, Steve, is the fact that now that he has become our boss, is that he's now going to be overseeing with our director of football, head of recruitment, the players that he wants to bring to the football club, which I think can only bode well for the future. Do you think?
I think so. I think like everything else, I think there was a hard decision to be made for Barry as well, because the fact of the matter is, he was probably going to have a job for as long as he wanted in the position that he'd currently held, And in fact, then when you're then asked to go into the interim manager's job and then step back, the club would probably never ever go get rid of him. Unfortunate bit for Barry now, he's now going to step into the breach to the degree of, I'm now the manager, and there's generally only one way it tends to go. And hopefully it's a lot further down the line. But as you say, Ali, he knows a lot of the players. He knows a lot of the younger players. He knows the ones he's brought through. He knows the club inside out now. He's been there as a player. He's for this neck of the woods. His family are settled here, which I think is another big thing. He knows the city. It was strange enough. I actually messaged him on Saturday morning. I'd been meaning to message him for weeks, and I'd left it because for me, it's a time and a place, and I just felt there was no game this weekend. I commented on how well I thought he'd done, but also, you're talking about players. I actually gave him a tip for a player that I thought was worthy of him having a look at, or the club having a look at. So I'm not mentioning the guy's name, but Barry went away and said, no problem, thanks for letting me know. And here we go. He never let on, he never said nothing. 48 hours later, he's been made manager. So, I'm looking forward to the next, stage of the development of the players that are currently there. I think we've seen that he's made them better, along with Steve Agnew. Liam Fox's come in. I'm not sure if that's what Barry's makeup's going to be next season. That'll be obviously for Barry to decide. But I think we've all seen the positives. We've all seen that the football's got better. The players that have been currently playing, that, let's be honest, were there when Jim Goodwin was there, look like they've improved. They look like that they're following orders. They look like they're following, a game plan. Which I think we went through a period of time, mate. You were at the games as well, where we didn't look like we had very much of a structure. And if we did have a structure, the players simply weren't following it, So there was obviously an issue there with the past manager. Barry's come in, he's not just steadied the ship, as I said in a previous interview with somebody else. He's made the ship go forward. Yeah. I think everybody expects somebody to come in and steady the ship. We didn't have time to steady the ship. We needed that ship to be moving forward. And I think us all, as Aberdeen fans, ex-players, pundits, we've all seen the benefit of Barry being there, and now I'm looking forward. And I will say one thing. I hope that people's not just expecting this to go on an everlasting run where we are going to go through bad periods, and we're going to go through periods where we'll only win 7 games in a row. And I hope people realise that the club's made a decision based on what they can see Barry can bring, and that he will go through a period of time. So I hope that, that period of time might be early next season, Ali. I just hope then that fans will only say, we should never have appointed Barry Robson. We've got to realise that it's a long-term project. We can't keep on changing managers. We've got to look to the future. I think we've got somebody at a good age. He's mid to late 40s. He's mid-40s. I'm forgetting I'm a few years older than him, but I think he's learned to trade. He's seen what's happened behind the scenes. He's played at some big football clubs. He's learned success, but he's also learned to be at clubs where it's been an issue as well, where it's been a struggle. And I think it all bodes well for the football club that nothing's just going to be this knee-jerk reaction, bringing this manager for down south, and all of a sudden we'll definitely be third or pushing for second. I think the fans will see a long-term project where we've got Alan Burrows in. It looks like hopefully Steve Agnew, and I'm glad that they've appointed Barry. I think they've done it at the right time. I think they'll wait it, but I think it's the right decision for the football club going forward.
And just to finish off, Steve, let's not forget Steve Agnew in this, because he's also agreed the contract. He will be Barry's assistant, and he's played a huge role in our rebuild, our turnaround, our change of fortunes. I don't think he should be forgotten in this.
And I don't think it will be. I think Barry will allude to that as well, Ali. I think Barry will allude to the fact that Barry, it's not a one-man band. You've always got to have your goalkeeping coach, first team coach, assistant manager, whatever the terminology is these days. You've always got to have somebody at the side of you. I think you've got to have somebody at the side of you that you trust. And I'm also kind of glad, because knowing Barry as I do, Barry was always a forward-thinking player. So bring in Steve Agnew there, that was a centre-back, is probably giving you, the right balance. I think we've seen it in the past that there tends to be a balance where it tends to be all being the same way thinking players. So, I think an age as well, I think that we needed. And I think it's maybe there's Stevie Glass, who, I really like Stevie. I think that's where maybe Stevie probably didn't do the right thing. He brought in Scott, that was maybe the right appointment, but they also brought in Alan Russell. And I think if you're bringing Scott in, you probably had to go for an experienced number 2 as well. Just to balance it out, I think just to have a wee bit thinking process for a wee bit an older head, and I think Barry's done that. I think he's been really wise. Liam Foxey is a well-known within the Scottish game. He's a good coach, Foxey. I played with Foxey as well at Livingston. I think Foxey maybe realised as well that he maybe stepped into the breach at a difficult football club at the right time. I think Liam might look to be a manager further down the line, but again, I think if he's going to remain at the football club, again, it's another good one to add to obviously the first team coaching squad. And it is, I think it's a positive time. I think we've got good things happening at the football club with the 40-year anniversary, Gothenburg, them getting the freedom of the city. And I think this was probably made at the right time for the football club as well, to get a manager in place before the end of the season, because we need the continuity. We need to go into the post-season and obviously into the break, but with somebody in charge that we know we can already go and start looking at players, as you say, for next year and develop the players that are already there. So, yeah, right decision at the right time, in my opinion.
Brilliant. Steve, thank you so much. Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on tonight. Much appreciated.
No problem, Ali. Thank you.
Speak to you soon.
Cheers, pal.
Bye, fella. So Barry takes charge of his first real job as Aberdeen's new manager this week against Rangers at Ibrox, who are in complete disarray, and isn't it hilarious to watch? Then on Saturday, May 13th, Gothenburg Day, we welcome our Gothenburg legends to Pittodrie to take on Hibs. Then potentially a 6-pointer, but we might not even need that. Saturday, May the 12th at Tynecastle, 12:30 kick-off. Then we play St Mirren, midweek, 19:45 kick-off, and we finish our campaign against Celtic at Celtic Park. So that's what the fixtures look like. Right, let's open it up to you. Let's see how you're all doing tonight. Wow, over 150 of you on tonight. That's absolutely sensational. Oh my God, it's a good day, isn't it? A good day. Right, let's go through some of these comments. Eclectic Soup. Great timing extending Barry and Steve's contracts just before a trip to Ibrox. This will hopefully inspire the team and supporters even more on Sunday. Don't forget, it's a sellout again. Jason Campbell from the Aberdeen fans. Jason Campbell, sensible appointment. What else do you want from a manager except to win games? Sugarland. Can I just personally thank you? You have just become an ABTV contributor. You've just signed up to the membership. Thank you so much. You're an absolute superstar. I'll tell you a little bit more about the membership later. It's just a means of helping me here on the channel. Sugarland, thank you. Get in touch with me. Please DM me so that I can speak to you personally. Law F1903, one of Dave's more sensible decisions. All the best to Barry and Steve. George Findlay, richly deserved after the results both Barry and Steve have had. Just hope that they get good budget for new players. Europe will be a good incentive. Scottish Susie has wished everybody a good evening. So happy about today's news. Barry just gets what it means to be an Aberdeen manager. Love his interviews as it's never about him. It's always about the fans, the players and the staff. Come on you Reds. That's an excellent point, Susie. John Ironside. Hi John. What a great day. Just such a genuine lad and clearly has brought this team's spirits together. Definitely the timing is spot on as it will enable him to be involved in key recruitment decisions. I discussed that with Rory from Aberdeen Live in just a moment. Paul Donaldson, very happy with today's news. It's the right decision and time. The club didn't need to rush any decision over a new manager, and it's great that the right man was in front of us all along. Fraser Gunn, hi Fraser, you alright? Being honest, firstly I was not over keen on this direction based on Barry's inexperience. Where we are now, it was definitely the right call, and I look forward to seeing how much further we can go. Kaiser's on, fit like lad, do, Super Barry Robson. Transmission, GGB, you're here on time. Well done. Scottish Susie has also said, great that Agnew is staying as well. Also great that Angus MacDonald has signed for 2 years. Yeah, let's not forget, Johnny, Angus, Steve, Barry now all signed up on proper contracts. It's just great news. Graham Clark has wished everyone good evening. Hope you're all well as normal. Great day for the Dons with Robbo signing on for 2 years. Gives himself and his staff the opportunity to bring even more success. Stand free. Al Mitchell's wishing everyone a good night. A good evening, I should say. Happy days. Barry and Steve can't wait. Graham Klein, definitely not my first choice, but results speak for themselves. Onwards and upwards. Fraser Garner said, continuing in a positive trend, I'm hoping for a Graham Shinney return on a permanent deal. Would love Matty Pollock back next season also. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think with Wigan getting relegated over the weekend, I think that can, I'm sorry that they got relegated, but it can only bode well for us in terms of getting Graham up here permanently, bringing him home. And Matty Pollock, yeah, absolutely. I just hope we can I hope we can do a permanent deal for him if he's up for it. And honestly, if we finish the season strongly, get into Europa League group stages, why wouldn't he want to try and do a deal? Nicola Beaton. Hi, Nicola. Fantastic weekend getting Angus, Barry and Steve signed up. Can't wait to see what other deals are done. Come on, you Reds. Brendan Nicola said, absolutely delighted for Barry and Steve. Really excited about the future of our club. Simon Roy's on. Hi, Simon. Hello to fellow dandies. Well deserved and looking forward to seeing where we go. Hopefully get the defence signed up. Phil McLean's here. Hi, Phil. Can see us winning cup next season. Yeah, I can see us winning the lot. John Farquhar. Brilliant news. About time. Kaiser, Shinny next to sign, hopefully. The Mad Ferret. Absolutely fantastic news about Barry and Steve Agnew penning their deals. Martin Smith, really pleased with the decision and the way not only have Barry and Agnew handled matters, but the club as well. Wasn't sure right at the start, but Barry has handled himself so well and he just gets it. Brian Watson has said, great news. Any word on Liam Fox? No, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Liam. But hey, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be part of that backroom staff. I'd be very surprised if he's not. Sugarland's on saying, the great thing here is that the club have accepted an inevitable decision with a legacy-based future. Barry Robson knows the club. He is ingrained in the infrastructure. It's a brilliant point. He is. Callum Benzies, great news. Transmission GGB. I'm happy he was the only person I wanted to get the job after this great turnaround and has this team playing like they should. Laura McLean has said, hello Ali and everyone else. Best news today. The only way is up now and the dandies. Come on you Reds. Andrew McRobbie. He deserves the job after the dramatic turnaround. He so does. For me, particularly after the Rangers game, I was still a little bit undecisive, let's put it that way. But having watched the first half, And then the way he was able to change it tactically to get us back on the front foot in the second half is why I think he deserved the job. Because with the greatest respect to our previous manager, I don't think he was capable of doing that. Look, he's doing great at Dundee United. Delighted for him. But Aberdeen just didn't cut the mustard. And Barry he's been able to come in and change it when it needs to be changed. And for me, that is a huge plus for us going forward. And after the way we defeated Rangers, I said last Monday, for me, he had to get the job. He deserved it. He deserves a crack at the whip. And yeah, just absolutely made up for him. I really am. SITV Network has said, as Barry Robson always says after the post-match, thank you. He does, doesn't he? Scott Farquhar has wished everyone a good evening. What a great few days we've had. Delighted Barry has got it. Seems to bring the feel-good factor back to us. Now it's time to keep the rest of the band together, starting with Shinnie. Paul Donaldson has said, to be fair to Jim Goodwin, he was able to get good performances and big wins out of the players at home early in the season, but wasn't able to get us doing this in away matches. Correct. Graham Clark, as someone who isn't a fan of managers getting long contracts, I am happy at the length of the contract as it means Barry gets his own opportunity and the club won't have huge payouts that don't work. Yeah, exactly. Paul Donaldson has said, the difference Barry has made is we look far more organised at the back. We're not conceding silly goals and we've been able to grind out 1-0 wins when needed, even when we've not been at our best. Kaiser singing again. Barry Robson's Barmy Army Euro Tour. Something like that, Kaiser. Fraser Gunn, loving the positivity coming out of our club in recent weeks. Happy days. Al Mitchell, Barry has done a fabulous job. The road ahead looks very exciting. Hang on. Ralph, 65. I hope... what's that say? I hope it doesn't jinx the run. Reminds me when actor Joe McCann was on The Weakest Link. Anne Robertson pointed out halfway in, he had answered every question correctly. He got every answer wrong after that. Nah, don't worry, fella. Don't worry. Transmission GGB. European football coming back. Europe, watch out. Barry's Barmy Army is coming. Graham Clark has said, now we have Johnny, Angus and now Robbo signed up. Do you think our chances of signing Shinnie on a permanent deal have increased now Wigan have been relegated from the Championship? Yes, Graham. I think 100%. And I think the club will be doing everything that they can at this moment to get Graham signed up on a permanent deal. I'd be shocked if they're not working on it. Gordon Keith Ritchie, good appointment, onwards and upwards. Come on, you Reds. SITV Network has said, just need Pollock, Shinnie and a few new signings and we can be up there with a Rangers side that would have sacked Beale and are in disarray. Okay, so that's the first part of the chat. Keep them coming in. As I said, absolutely no time restriction on tonight's show. So in the meantime, let's get some journalistic point of view from this. So I caught up with Rory Britton, who is from Aberdeen Live. If you've not had a chance to check them out, they're online. Really good. Got some really good interviews on there, some exclusive interviews. And they're always tweeting about the history of the football club and writing stories about the football club. It's a really, really good site. If you get a chance, give them a follow on Twitter. So here's what Rory had to say about today's big news. See you. Thank you, as always, for jumping on. Right, let's get your initial reaction to today's big news.
Fantastic. Quite possibly the best audition process possible for him getting the gig. He's fully deserving of it. And I think the timing has been absolutely spot on. You know, there's 5 massive games left that are going to decide whether they guarantee themselves group stage football, with obviously the cup results still to decide. But big games going. The players and the squad all seem happy going as they are. Everything is just, I mean, all the talk beforehand about wanting a manager to come in who can kind of break that old firm stranglehold. Well, he's already beaten one of them. So that's knocked out all kinds of doubts that he can actually get some sort of result in that area. And he's proving himself in the littler tests as well, and tough away days that were just falling apart left, right, and centre beforehand. So it's all teed up nicely. But I think the big thing has just been getting something permanent in place and tied down before the summer, and not scrambling about through May, June, July looking for the man to take you forward when you've got potential qualifiers coming up and you've got big season. Getting it all done early and quickly with a guy who's proving himself week after week after week, spot on. It's been brilliant.
What was the reaction to your readership, your viewership, when you put the news out this afternoon?
I think they'd seen it coming. I think they'd expected it based on the fact he's 8 wins out of 10, 7 on the bounce. So I think it was not if but when, but I think they're very pleased also with the getting something sorted early, and the sort of the plans getting put in place for how the club then goes on and has a go at Europe and looks ahead to next season to try and grow on that. And I think it's just, I think it, as delighted as they are, I think there's also now a sort of great, we've tied Barry down, we've tied Angus down for 2 more years. Let's keep it going. Let's keep this building and keep the results going, because I think it's all moving at such a positive way. They want to keep seeing that going, because it's obviously been, it's looking like it's going to end as a very good season, but it's had its challenges. So to get back the way they are now and to keep on going forward, I think it's good times all round in the fan base at the minute from our view.
One thing that I've been really impressed with Barry is how he conducts himself, press conferences, when he talks to the media as a whole. I've always been impressed by him, but I think he conducts himself quite superbly in his press conferences. And I have to be honest, I think he's a breath of fresh air. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's almost been a little bit harsh, maybe saying the word boring, but because of how simple it's become, it's just, we just want to go out and win football games. We know what we've got to do. We've not achieved anything yet. That seems to be the recurring message, and everything. It's been so simple, and yet
Effective.
they just needed that.
Yeah.
Because it was absolute chaos at the end of January, and they just needed someone who could get them enjoying playing football again and just take any heat off them and just keep the message clear and simple. And it's just been boring, but it hasn't. Like, I don't know, but boring feels a harsh word, but I think they
I totally get you. I totally get you, because he's saying the right things.
Yeah, there's nothing for us to pick out of it that he's said that tears anything up or whatever. I think he's just delivered his message very well, and just wanting to get the squad working hard, playing for each other, enjoying it again, and just every game it's been the whole week by week. Oh, there's this game in a few weeks. Oh, I'm not looking to, my job is to get them winning at Ibrox next week, or then winning against Hibs, or just so simplified, and just it's just calmed everyone down, I think, in the best way that I think they needed from what they'd finished off with Goodwin.
Also, a quick word on Steve Agnew. I'm also absolutely thrilled that he's accepted his position at the football club as well and signed a contract. And I just think everything bodes well for the two of them. I think between the two of them, they've got the right tools to take this club forward. And I think it's becoming a hugely exciting period for the football club, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. Their working relationships clearly it's being passed on to these players quite effectively. If you look at the results and everything, it's all moved in the right direction. And I think getting him on board to begin with, because we all remember when Dave Cormack was saying, I'm determined to get this right. And I think that was the first step in a positive decision, in getting a very well experienced coach on board who's able to give Barry the support he needed. And since it might have looked like a rocky start with the St Mirren and Celtic results, but it's just been flying away with win after win after win. So it's something's really working with that squad.
Yeah.
So they've obviously then got, going with the assumption you get third, you guarantee some sort of group football till Christmas. You just wonder how far they can take it with this lot and what they can get out of them and where this club can go in 5, 6, 7 months' time, when you've gone through another transfer window. You've started off another league campaign, and you've got some sort of European experience under your belt from the summer, and then hopefully some sort of group stage experience, whether it be Europa League, Conference League. The potential's there, and I think tying him down as well as Barry has been a brilliant move.
Yeah. I absolutely tip my hat to everyone involved. Rory, brilliant. Thank you as always for jumping on. It's great to see you. Really appreciate your time tonight, mate.
Cheers, Alec.
All right, pal. Speak to you soon. So just a little bit of housekeeping before we get back to the comments. 37% of you that watch this channel haven't actually subscribed to Ali Beg ABTV yet. So I'd be absolutely delighted and thrilled if you would please consider subscribing to the channel. All it does is just help me build. And also I mentioned the membership scheme before where Sugarland signed up. So all you have to do is on a laptop at the top of the page, you will see a little icon that says join. It's a membership scheme. And there's a little video there where I introduce the perks to becoming a member. And all it does, again, is help me massively with this channel and how I want to build it going forward. There's a small fee to pay for it. I'll be totally transparent with you. And people have said, will it go into my pocket? It does not go into my pocket. It goes back into what is this business. So everything that you see, I keep doing that, everything that you see in terms of graphics, the changes that I make to the channel, the broadcasting system, everything that I earn from the goodwill of you goes back into this business and into this channel so that I can continually improve it, because I want it to be the best channel, Aberdeen Football Club channel, that there is. That's my ambitions. I want it to be the biggest and the best. And that may sound totally arrogant, but that is what I want to do. And I can only do that by providing good content, interesting content, and content that I'm hoping you guys find engaging. So that's what the membership scheme is all about. Okay, let's get back. Honestly, I'm so blown away by how many of you are on tonight. Nearly 180. It's amazing. Thank you. 180. Bang on. Johnny Elric, well done to the club and to Robbo. Top job. John Bleasdale. Hi, John. Hope you're well, fella. I thought the board did the right thing in taking their time, then making the move when Robson earned the job. He's proven he's ready. There's a togetherness about the club again. Keep it going. Absolutely there is. Couldn't agree more, John. Hi, Lorraine Baxter. How are you? She wishes everybody a very good evening. I'm delighted with this news. I have no doubt we will push on and secure third spot. The change in the players' mentality and standard of play is quite remarkable. It is. John Graham, Robbo is a different breed to Stephen Glass or Jim Goodwin. He knows the club inside out and knows what the support expects of an Aberdeen player. Exactly. Kaiser said, we're looking solid as a rock. We are. He also went on to say Barry Robson's been his choice for a while. Alan Suter, hi Alan, was sceptical to take on another inexperienced manager at first, but couldn't have done better. Don't underestimate the role Steve Agnew has played. Great news. Both have been signed. I don't think you finished your sentence there. Souza said, great appointments. We will dip, no doubt, but fans will back the manager. Exciting times. Callum Benzes has said, whatever he is doing, the players have bought into it. Barry and Steve have earned the right to the job, having brought some well overdue good results back to the club. Simon Roy has said he has Steve Agnew as his assistant, who I think also deserves credit, 100%. Gordon Downey, he says, hello to everyone. Great news. Do you think that Barry getting the job full-time will convince some of the loan players to commit to a longer loan or sign permanently? It's a simple answer, Gordon. Yes, I really do. Biker Scout 74, very happy to hear this. Fully deserved. Onwards and upwards to the Dons. Transmission, GGB, I'm going to be patient as he has already earned that from fans after it looked like bottom 6. Laura McLean has said, of course we're going to have a good and bad days, but in Barry Robson we trust. El Fidelo, I think that is. Barry seems to have brought back a feel-good factor to the team, which appeared to be missing during Jim Goodwin's tenure. Yep. A few of you have talked about the fixtures. You know how difficult the fixtures are going to be? They are. Graham Clark has said, in my opinion, Barry was never my first option as manager, but when he became interim, I was sceptical about it with his lack of experience, but he's more than earned his opportunity. He gets my backing. Kaiser said, it would be tremendous if we win or draw against St Mirren, which would then confirm third. Yeah, so don't forget, we only really need to win the 2 out of the 5 games to just about confirm third, because I think Celtic play Hearts in the first game on Sunday afternoon. They kick off about an hour before we do, and they're obviously going for the title. So I can't see Hearts getting anything out of that game. I've got to be honest. Scott W. Great news for the gaffer. He deserves the job. He's transformed us in a matter of weeks. He has. Gary Bjorkland is on. I never thought he would have got the job, but considering his and team effort, it shows that we have players that have turned results make prizes. Transmission GGB has said, I hope we could make it 8 at Ibrox and have 2 wins against the Rangers in that 8-game run. Paul Donaldson has said, what a better time to play that lot. Their season is over. Slightly relieved about not having them to win the Scottish Cup final if we finish third. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Transmission. Thank you. So, Gaz MCD 1903 is asking, how do we sign up to the page? So, you need to do it on a laptop or a PC, because I did this the other day with someone who wanted to sign up, and there's a little icon under the main banner that says join. Just click on join, you'll see the video, you'll see the perks, everything is there. That's how you sign up. Alan Suter has said, having certainty on who the manager is should help our summer recruitment drive, as players will know who they're going to play for. Yeah, that's a very good point. You see, if we're targeting players, which I have absolutely no doubt that we are, now that we have a full-time manager in place, that is another key point and another selling point. So yeah, it's an excellent point. Sega Saturn Lad has said, if Baz had been manager at the start of the season, I'd say we'd be challenging them. Yeah, interesting thought. Yeah, Kaiser's talked about, with Sevco fans walking away, it's a poor allocation for Aberdeen, considering we'd sell out. Yeah, we sold it out quickly as well. Transmission GGB mentions about Barry putting the media in their place, and that's a big part of the job. Yep. Charles Craig is on. Hi, Charles. Positive decision today, and we can move away from too many players on loan. Our youth defenders with experienced defenders in the squad, I am sure will benefit from training every day with them. Exactly. That's also another really good point about Barry just getting the whole DNA of the football club, because he's worked for so long at that academy level with the youth players, and he has grown up with them as much as they have grown up with him, if that makes sense. So he's going to know their strengths and their weaknesses and whether they're ready, because he's been there. He knows them. He's known them since they were kids. So he's going to know what's in their heart, if they're ready, because a lot of it is in here. Obviously, God-given talent takes you so far, but a lot of it is in here and in here. And Barry will know that, having worked with these kids for so long. Honestly, it's nothing but a positive thing. Scott W. has said, it's going to be very interesting to see how many of the current squad will sign up on long-term deals. I loved Angus' statement that there's something special being built right now. Yeah, he did, didn't he? Now here's a controversial one from Sega Saturn Lad. I would also say, and he confesses this may be controversial, I wouldn't sign Shinnie. I'd give McCrory the captaincy and offer a better contract and tell Bristol City to bugger off. Duncan Forbes has said common sense at last in regards to Barry's appointment. John Gallen has said, see the messages from the players on social media. There is obviously a connection between Barry and the players. Sugarland has said, I have to say, when all is said and done, we have a tactical manager who knows us inside out, and this is a game changer for us. Exactly. Duncan Forbes went on to say, there's a steal in Barry Robson that's been missing from previous incumbents. I seriously believe we will be in at least both semi-finals and possibly split the other two. Nicola Beaton has reminded everybody to hit the like button. So if you're enjoying tonight's show, please do. Transmission GGB goes on to say, it's the way he's changed the way we play in games that's convinced me. Also, Darville seems like such a long time ago, and to pack Pittodrie for the Rangers game was unthinkable a month before that. Yep. Suze is asking how old Graham Shinnie is. Graham is 31 years old. Daniel Wilkes is on. Hi, Daniel. He's wished everyone a good evening. Putting the wee man to bed. That's why he's late. Oh, we can forgive you for that. Robson gave the FMB no choice with the consistent and incredible results. Long may it continue. Come on, you Reds. I love how you're all interacting with each other as well. It's brilliant. It's really good to see. Really good to see. I'm delighted. Graham Clark has said, what has amazed me about Robbo is that the changes he's made to his team. If you think about it, these weren't even Robbo's players, signed by both Stephen Glass and Jim Goodwin, so that on its own is phenomenal. Laura McLean has said it would be definitely the icing on the cake if Graham Shinnie was to sign permanently again. Mark Munn is on. Hi, Mark. It's good to see more stability at this stage. I'm very happy with this decision. Stability is a very good word, a key word. Martin Smith. Good point, Martin. Turns out the defence was easy to fix. Who would have known? Good point. Alan Knox. Love the blend of young, enthusiastic manager and the clever, experienced head of Steve Agnew. Would love Shinnie and Clarkson to stay. Yeah, I would love to see Leighton Clarkson stay as well. Let me keep going. Graham Klein is asking, side question, do we still have the same scouting network in place since last summer? Wonder if we have a few in mind like Duke, Rama and Mijovski. Yes, we do, is the simple answer to that question, Graham. Oh, I can't read that, sorry. Another good question. Effie Dello is asking, do I think we'll see Vinny Bazirwin back at the club next season? Barry seemed to rate him highly in some of his interviews. That's an interesting point. So he came back to do his recuperation. He's gone back to Holland subsequently. So look, at the end of the day, he is an Aberdeen player and he's contracted to us. So no matter what, come the close season, he's going to be back. So it's up to Vinny to prove his worth to Barry Robson, to Steve Agnew and the coaching staff. That's all he can do. Just prove your worth. Work hard in training and show them that you want to be at the football club, because that's what it boils down to. So at the end of the day, it's in his hands. Gordon Keith Ritchie has said, Barry knows his stuff. I was at a DNA meeting at Cormac Park, learnt his trade instead of jumping in at the deep end. Yeah, he did, didn't he? So many people are on talking about Alan Burrows and the respect being offered to him. Any updates on the McCrory situations? Asking Nicola. Nothing new since he came out and said, look, he loves it at Aberdeen. I just can't see him going. I really don't. Yeah. Okay. Right, guys. I think we're going to call it a night because we've done nearly 45 minutes. I'm absolutely blown away by how many are on you tonight. There's a lot of personal questions here, which I will get round to. Okay, so I'll try and get back in touch with you personally. Just checking one more thing. Doric Davis said, was very sceptical initially, but easy decision now. It almost feels like the glory days again. Intrigued to see how the away games will go. Yeah, Brian Black, in regards to Vinny, the return of Vinny is going to be something to look forward to under the new management team. Right. Aberdeen 1903 is suggesting that 4 points will probably be enough. Yeah, I hope so, mate. I really hope so. Yeah, okay. Brian Black is back to say he'd be interested to know what he thinks about Dean Campbell. Yeah, who's also due back, isn't he? Just won promotion with Stevenage as well, didn't he? So well done to him. Right, guys, I'm going to call it a night. So thank you so much for coming on tonight and sharing your opinions as always. I love how many of you are watching the shows at the moment. It's really encouraging, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So your support is, as always, absolutely brilliant. So I've confirmed a new Begs Banter with an ex-Aberdeen player. I'm going to try and get that done at the end of this week. And then we will be back for a pre-game show on Sunday against Rangers. Now, I have to work out when I'm going to do it because, and get me, I've been invited to a Nick Kershaw concert up in Munich. So I'm going to go up and see Nick Kershaw. Yes. So there'll be no halftime show, unfortunately, but there will be, of course, a review show on Monday. So I'm just working out the timings of when Nick begins the gig and how long it'll take me to get up to Munich. And hopefully we'll be able to do a live preview show ahead of that game. If we can't do a live show, then I will definitely do a show in the morning, which will also be live next Sunday morning. So that's the plans for this week. So guys, listen, have an absolutely brilliant week. Take good care of yourselves. Thanks again for all your support, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now. Stand free.